what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics back at you. And this is my good friend and usual co-chair, Mr. Shadowpunk. Yeah, so that little lid on streaming didn't last very long, I guess.
Well, there's worse things in the world, you know? I mean, come on, get some perspective.
Well, I guess I did get perspective after a few days. I started like getting depressed, and
Right.
overwhelmed by my life.
Right,
And
that happens.
and I was like, I usually handle this better. What in the world's going on here? And then I was like, I'm not streaming.
You know what it is? Can I say what I think part of it is? Is because when you're streaming, you're being proactive about your life.
Yeah.
And you are, even if you're not in control, you feel like you're doing something about it.
Yeah. Making progress, like, kind of like clearing out my space here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have a big channel, but I do seem to have a lot of people referencing me or knowing of my existence. So um, evidently I'm in the zeitgeist, as it were.
Well, you know your whole thing that happened a couple weeks ago. You know, remember? I think it was Madonna, Satanist Madonna, who said any news is good news, right? That keeps you, you know, and she's
There's
probably,
no such thing as bad press.
That's what it is, yeah. And she probably is not wrong.
Yeah, well, she's pretty much plastic at this point, but I don't know.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Wrong, but,
You're like, that is your brain on evil or something, right? Like too much sucking on the tit of evil, you're gonna end up looking like that.
Yeah, you see people like Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi.
That's right.
People that have been doing vile and evil things, their whole entire existence, and they just have this, like, this. I mean, Nancy Pelosi can't do it as much anymore because she's pulled back so far, but But Hillary Clinton still, it's like they take pictures of her, and when she thinks nobody's looking, and it's just like these evil eyes just pop out, and it's like, whoa.
There's also like what you're hinting at is like there's also an artificial factor going on, and you're like, nobody knows why that is, besides like a facelift, but there's something going on there.
I'm willing to bet that if you were to check her purse, there is no hot sauce. I'm just saying. I doubt that there's hot sauce.
What does that mean?
Well, she told a bunch of black people she was like speaking in front of that. Oh yeah, it's like somebody's like, oh, what's something we might be surprised it's in your purse? And she's like, oh, I keep hot sauce. I carry it with me everywhere.
Like that, yeah.
And it's just like. It's like she thinks black people eat hot sauce, or do hot sauce. That's why she said that.
That's Filipinos. They eat all the hot sauce, and they don't have any problem with it either.
Oh man, I used to do a Big Brother with a little Hispanic kid. His father was illegally in the country, and I was like a big brother to him. And that kid, man, he would eat hot sauce like his mother's milk.
Really?
Yeah.
No problems, huh?
Well, he actually had an ulcer, and he's like 8 years old, and that's why he was in the program. They're like, what gives a 8-year-old kid an ulcer?
Jeez.
But he was living pretty much in poverty.
Whatever happened to him?
He was a good kid. All he looked to me, he didn't look to me for anything but just a paycheck or somebody to buy him stuff that his dad wouldn't. And the money ran out, and I just I guess I was kind of cowardly back in those days. I just basically just disappeared, pulled out of the program.
Well, I mean, can't afford it, right? I mean, what are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Well, I had like this insurance money from my parents, and I was given my whole entire existence. I was never given any kind of responsibility whatsoever.
Okay.
And then suddenly I turn 18 and I get handed $20,000. And basically I went to college. I didn't really look for a job,
Went to college, went to the strip club.
No strip club.
Okay, well, you're better than most then, right? I mean, you're ahead of the curve at that point.
Well, I did buy a word processor, which I used quite a while. It had like a little screen on it. Of course, that was right before the laptop revolution. So,
Right.
that became a really stupid purchase. It's a Hewlett Packard, believe it or not. So I had I spent it on a bunch of things that I no longer. Yeah, I didn't have very long. I did buy a incredible hologram of Dracula. I've showed it off a couple times.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those high resolution 3D images. But it's like it basically moves if you like walk from one end to the other. He like comes out of the casket and then
cool.
The last frame he jumps at you.
Oh, cool.
And I've had it for since that's probably the only tangible evidence that I ever had that much money.
Well, I mean, logically, you're supposed to spend the money on investing into yourself. Logically, it sounds like you did, and you did a little bit because you went to school.
Yeah. I never finished. It. I didn't have the commitment level. I mean, I was just a stupid kid, and I guess I was like trying to extend my childhood a little bit. And
right.
I mean, I ate like a horde of locusts, and I never did gain an ounce. And then suddenly I gained like 20 pounds.
That's how it is, man. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I think like I'm like 165, 160 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I was like 185. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, well, what's going on is all the soda and garbage that I'm eating. And I'm like, when I was younger, I would burn through that stuff.
Right.
No problems, no problems,
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is this, But it is what it is, You really, lessons have to be learned, right?
Lessons do have to be learned, yeah.
And you're lucky if you learn them.
Yeah.
Especially with money, like I know people in my life who have money that they cannot handle it. It always just goes through their hands.
Yeah.
Right. And I can spread a nickel is really good. Right. And I have, and it's all decisions, it's like this one guy I know, he bought this house that was just so expensive. It's awesome house. Awesome. I'm like, don't you ever want to be out of debt? And he's like, well, I'm like, dude, I guess we have priorities here. I mean, it's like everybody does have their own priorities, and more power to them, so.
Well, it's like my uncle and aunt. His father was independently wealthy, and he left like this primo piece of property right on the side of the mountain to my uncle. And he like leveraged his future to build a house right on that piece of property. I mean, he was like, people threw money at him to try to get a hold of that property, but he kept it and built his house up there. And it had a view off of its back deck. You could see 6 counties from his back deck.
Cool.
and all the way to the mountains, all the way this way, and just incredible view. And then I went up. I went up and visited them multiple times, and they kept the shutters closed all times. Every time I went up there.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't know.
No, they just kept the shutters closed. I mean, it's not like they were like walking around naked or anything.
Right. I mean, this is
the view had just become old hat to them. You know, they just didn't pay attention anymore. But that view was probably one of the best views in all our county.
Wow, that's nice. You know, North Carolina has a lot of hills, and it does make sense.
It was they were on the rim of a valley. That was like rimmed by other mountains, like in the distance or whatever.
Okay.
It's called the Catawba River Valley.
Okay.
And you could just see. I mean, it just when that whole place would light up at night. All this towns and cities in between them and the mountains,
Really?
and that view at night was just like breathtaking. And I just kept the shutters closed all the time. You know? I went up there. I was like, I got to the back deck, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?"
Oh, you mean they want you inside?
Yeah, they're like, "What are you doing out here? Everybody else is inside." I'm like, you know.
You know, there are people. You know, it's like, but there are people that have oceanfront property, and then one day they just stop looking at the ocean.
Well, I mean, you just take things for granted. I mean, I live I live in the foothills, and well, Belmont, if you come in here, you could keep us on topic, dude. You know, whatever. It's like Belmont lives in Denver. He probably doesn't even pay attention to mountain views. You know.
He lives in Denver.
Yeah, he lives in Denver. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lives in the belly of the beast.
I guess he does. Yeah. I mean, Colorado is a strange state. It's almost kind of like Washington or Oregon. Where you're
I mean, no wonder he's into conspiracy theories. I mean, look where he lives, man.
But it's there's like really groups of hardcore rightists and hardcore leftists, right?
Yeah. Everybody's extreme in that state. I guess that's why they legalized marijuana, try to chill everybody the hell out.
Probably. I mean, you know, or put them to sleep or something. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess Belmont's, you know, he's kind of got a point. We should probably stay on topic.
Well, I'll give you a topic. Recently I got a illustration from 6 a.m. of Shadowpunk.
Yeah, I saw. It's cool, man.
She was really cool, man. He did it really quick, and he was like, "No problems." You know, he's got the system down, I guess.
Well, Belmont's got some really cool ones, and he did my Ironsides.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Let me bring it up real quick. It won't take long. He did the Ironsides crossing the Delaware.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I kind of I gave him the idea, and it's he like ran with it, but it's really cool. Let me find out where I put it.
Well, what character did 6 a.m. do for you?
Oh, he did all his.
Yeah, I got 4, but I've only unlocked 2, so I think I'm going to use them for save those other 2 for the next campaign.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got some cool ones.
AGE Comics is here. What?
Cool. Hey, man. If you want to come on, man, I will send you a link. He's supposed to come on my show Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
He's going to challenge you guys in some trivia.
Oh my gosh.
Well, all right. Yeah, here we go. Bring this up right quick. Let's see. You have to go through all the rigmarole of finding the right. There we go. Share. And yep, here it
Oh,
is.
that's cool. I like it. So you had the idea ahead of time?
Yeah. Ironsides crossing the Delaware, and he came up with the rest of it.
It's cool.
Yeah. So
How fun is that?
yeah. It's he actually put him in the collage. He's in the collage. That big collage he's got.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
right
don't
next to
know.
Weaponized Werewolf.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure I've seen it.
yeah. Well, he's you need to see that collage. The collage is incredible.
Really?
To fit him in the collage though, because everybody's pointed to or heading to the right, he had to reverse him. So it looks like he's it looks like he's got a left arm. It's that's
Right.
lit up, but
Right.
it is what it is, but it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be in there. Evidently, AG, you can't watch some kids, but other time would be great. All right, man, no problem. Yeah, yeah. I mean, 6 a.m. man, he's got a gift for it, man. He really does. He has a incredible gift. That's Starfetched that he's got his own little character.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I think he's doing a video game of him or something. Hand drawn video game.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's been working on it for years. It looks incredible.
Wonder if
But
I've seen it. Let me see.
Well, he had like a mechanics of it on Steam. He did like a one level. So I think it's on Steam. Just ask him; he'll send you the link. But it's a side scroller.
I think I see it here. It's not Visionaries, is it? Knights of the Magical Light, or is that something different?
No, it's called Starfetched. Is the name
Starfetched.
of it?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I see it.
Right.
Yeah, it
right,
looks
right,
like a different thing than his cartoons. Like
yeah, well,
like
it's got that chibi look to it. Yeah. Anyway, while I've been away, we've seen some movement. With the not necessarily the buy one back one, but Luke Stone attempted to launch a website where I need to go alternative, and then he got screwed over by the people that were supposed to be setting up his shopping cart.
Oh well.
They quoted him a price, and then he asked for an add-on. They gave him the add-on, but it was so poorly coded that once he went live, the whole thing crashed.
Whoa.
And it crashed from their end. It didn't crash from his end. It crashed from their end. And then they're like, oh, for 6 hours of work at $100 per hour, we'll fix it. And he's like, oh, wait a second,
Well,
that's not how this works.
One of the other problems with doing that is the fact that people that might use a website to do transactions are not that feeling so safe now, right?
Well, the thing about it is they're like he had like the basic package, and obviously they're like, well, if you upgrade it to the 300 a month package, all this will be included. And so they're basically upselling him. So he's got some coders. He's got some really brilliant people. He's got like Ray Havelock, who set up Tug's website. He's got Pixel Trader pitching in. He's got Todd Redshift Comics helping him out when he can. So he's got some really talented coders who are going to, and Ray Havelock says that he's going to, he has a friend of his that can set up an Indiegogo alternative by Christmas.
But the problem is, it's not setting up the site, really. I mean, coding is coding. The problem is, it's like considered doing banking, I think, because you're holding people's money. So there's a lot of laws about that. You have to get probably like $1 million bond. You have to have lawyers.
Wow.
You have to have contracts. You can get sued if you fuck up. I wouldn't go into that territory without talking to some type of lawyer. You can't just turn on a website, you know what I mean? And
yeah. No. The guy that they're talking to, that Ray Havelock knows this. He sets these up for a living, and it has a third party site that he operates with or works with that will handle all that end of it. And that's basically they're indemnified and they're bonded and they have the insurance and everything like that. And they basically offer this to websites, and that website basically builds their site and then links to them.
Right.
So that helps like smaller website people to they're big enough corporation they can handle the weight of that. And then
that doesn't that defeat the purpose? So is the whole purpose to make your own so you can't be canceled?
Well, there's that. I mean, but they'd have to cancel the bank or cancel it through the bank end. But anyway, good stuff. What's up?
What's up? Well,
Anyway.
you gotta say this. Luke is like a very. I've noticed that he's a doer.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, he's the kind of person that's going to take that step.
Well,
right?
that's what I like to think the Genesis crew is. That's a whole start something thing. That whole like myth, the ethos that I think that we have, and as a group, is that if we see something, we call it out, or we're the ones that are going to say something about it, or we're the ones that are going to say, hey, there's something that needs to happen here. We're going to make it happen, rather than like sitting on the sidelines. And we have taken some criticism for it lately. Well, to you, Bunny Hill Shallow Punk. I guess you're chopped liver, Belmont. He didn't say hey to you, man. Oh, well, there he is. There it is.
Oh, there we are.
But that's one thing about this buy one back one is other people were like saying, "Oh, I wish we could find a way for people who are throwing all this money at these big campaigns to find my campaign." But that's just not going to happen because I'm not connected. Blah blah blah, and buy one back one is just meant to basically make a bridge. And make a like aggregate for people to find these smaller campaigns and stuff.
I'll tell you what, because we've all talked about this a couple times. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if down the road somebody else comes up with the new buy one back one.
What's up, Todd Father?
And then they're like totally behind it. Everybody's behind it. It's a cool idea, and you were the first one to do it, but they didn't do it first, so they had to jump on you.
Well, I mean, there's a certain part of that in there. I didn't do myself any favors by the way I was couching it or the way I was setting up parameters for it. And I left a lot of room for misunderstanding with my communication. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the concept. There's nothing wrong with the hashtag. There was just something wrong with the way I was telling people about it. And so that kind of like, that's on me. But I've tried to rectify it since then. There's some people that just, are kind of like got it in their, like, have made determination in their heart that they're never going to get it, and that's fine.
To quote the wise sage Rodney King, can't we just all get along?
Can't we all just get along? No, we cannot all just get along.
It's one of those kooky things. You're like, what is wrong with us,
Well, bear in mind, this is a guy that was like beat on and batons to his head for about, a good 20 minutes. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still a good sentiment, I mean,
it was a good sentiment. It was a good enough sentiment.
It's almost like he thought he figured out, if I say this, they can never misconstrue it.
Yeah.
Right, and that's one of those ones you really can't misconstrue.
Well, I mean, it was they were asking him about the riots and everything, and he didn't want the riots to happen over him, but it just did.
Right.
Anyway, hold on 1 second. When I did the race to 1,000 subs, I got some pushback on that as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Back.
Some people don't want other people to get help. They want everybody to do everything on their own. It's up to you. You alone. You got to draw your comic. You got to write your comic. You got to publish your comic. You got to market your comic. You got to do all the work for everything. And if you don't, you have somebody help you. That's against the rules, I guess.
Well, it gets. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. You know, I mean, that's the whole. You know, pick yourself up by your bootstraps ethos. But at the same time, you know, there's no like shame in saying, okay, I don't have the resources to do this on my own. So let's get together. And Odin, what's up, dude?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you know, the other thing too is that everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, some people are writers, some are artists, some are both, some are just producers, like in a Belmont kind of way. He's a producer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, like, everybody's different, and it's like, it's just strange. It's so cliquish, man. It's so bizarre to me to see this stuff. And it's, you know why it's bizarre? Because I've been out of the loops for so long. I'm dealing with people that everybody's like this on everything. Right.
There's much pushback or some similar pushback. Yeah.
Well, people thought that we begged to be on EVS's show and that we asked him. I think that's the
oh, really?
Where it went wrong.
Well, I mean, he invited Piper on, and because he knew Piper, and then she's like, invite me on, and so he invited me on, and some people thought that once we got on, we basically sold it out. But I mean, hold on, hey, nerds, what's up, Neff?
What up? Yeah,
but the issue, and when I kind of had the intervention this weekend, in the conversation that I got with several people, was that the perception was that I got on there, I was rude and combative, and I wasn't, that I didn't show myself very well. I didn't show the hashtag off well.
Dr. Doom, you're like Dr. Doom. You're like the walking, talking Dr. Doom and Red Skull combined. I knew it.
I saw it as you were kind of nervous. You looked like you were tired.
I had 8 hours shift in. I mean,
there was a big panel too. I mean, there was more. It's hard to get a word in when you got all those people on the panel.
Right.
And
I got an idea. Here's an idea. So what you do is next time you do another hashtag, which you should, because that was a good one actually. You go to Hooters and you get a piece of paper that says hashtag buy one back one, and then get the Hooter waitress to hold it for you and go buy one back one, and nobody's going to complain about that.
As long as there's boobs.
Seriously, that's how we are.
Yeah, Neff. That's still being talked about. That's like 4 weeks ago now. I don't know. It's still being talked about, but yeah, the thing about EVS, that show is, it's the biggest platform we got on CG. It just is.
It is.
But the thing about it is it was one of the hold on a second. That was like last week, Neff. It's the week before last, at least. That's ancient history. Yeah.
Neff is right, though. It is ancient history.
Well, the thing about it is evidently people are still back channeling and still talking about me about the whole thing, and that's fine. But I kind of like. I guess I needed to get away for a couple of days and kind of like clarify some things in my head. And hold on one second. I thought it was last week. I'm getting old. No, it's a week.
It was like a month ago.
So almost. It was about at least 3 or 4. Anyway.
And then you know what happens? The next time somebody does something in the CG group that people get outraged over, they're not even going to remember buy one back one, right? They're going to go, "What do you think about this thing, Bunny?" And you're like, "Well, that's how we are, man."
Well, yeah, time flies when you're high. Yeah.
Probably.
Yep, pretty much. you could be less high and actually like live your life, but just say it. Anyway,
What are you trying to say? I'm living my best life, Bunny.
It was 982 years ago.
Yeah, and internet time.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you gotta kind of like decide who you are and kind of get it settled in your head. What you stand for, and note to self: don't trust good stuff's timeline, and
Right.
less high. What's that? Yeah, well, I got you.
There you go.
My apologies.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can only do what you can do, and you can't control how other people perceive what you do and everything. But buy one back one's is the point, the point of this whole thing. And I'd less focus on me, more on that,
Well, let me ask you this then. So, what if you did like a thing where you had like a faux meltdown, like Liam or something like that, right?
Okay. Fight me.
Could you get mileage out of that stuff?
Bring them before me. Bring them before me. Okay, there you go.
I mean,
it's that best. Bring them right here in front of me. Bring them here.
It's an art form. You get mileage out of stuff like that.
Yeah, I just can't melt down like that. It's
hard.
Anyway.
I mean, because I think I've seen people do it online.
Their reality.
Their
perception is your reality. Yeah, well.
And it seems like some people that do stuff like that, they already know ahead of time that this is bullshit, and I'm gonna pretend to have an outrage meltdown, and they're gonna do it to get.
The thing about it is I don't really. A lot of people have kayfabe. They're a different person online than they are in real life, and you like see this and that they seem happy-go-lucky on the channel, and they're I'm this, I'm that, and then they have somebody on, and you see them like tear people to shreds, and then they're just like back to I was having a good time here, I just tore somebody a new asshole, and then they're just like hey everybody.
Right.
Hey, let's get drunk and have fun. You just ripped that guy a new butthole, and and it's just like, we're moving on now. I'm just not. That's not me. I'm pretty much what you see is what you get. I've always been that way. I learned in restaurant management, the customer's perception was my reality as a manager. Yeah,
probably true.
Oh gosh. But the buy one back one though. And I've had people like, hey, you need to change the hashtag or you need to alter it, whatever. And but you know what? If I did alter it and I started trying to get them, maybe they enjoy having their buttholes ripped. I have no idea. Maybe
some people, it's true.
Well, I mean, people come on EVS's show unprepared with Vicky-verse talking points and get their butts handed to them. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's like controlled opposition. They come on there, It's like, they're bringing up the Ribbit coin. Really, this is like from 5 years ago. What
Have you ever watched videos of lions in Africa going fighting and going and killing each other?
Yeah,
that's kind of like CG. Like those aren't my cubs, and I'm gonna take care of those cubs, or I'm gonna take over this terrain.
I kind of think of CG as kind of like everybody got tired of the glitzy pop, and so they went back to the punk club, and that there's a big mosh pit, right? And it's like survival of the fittest in that mosh pit, But everybody has more freedom and everybody's having more fun, but then everybody has more band-aids. Okay,
right. That's probably a good analogy.
Yeah, I think CG is kind of like that punk, kind of like punk movement,
Oh, did you ever see like a Slayer
Slayer
concert where they fuck each other up in the mosh pit?
Right.
Really?
Jim Brewer has this thing about Slayer fans. He's like, you hear him coming. He's like, Slayer. And it's like they come like pouring in. It's like, oh my God.
I seen them leave a concert. People were leaving with like bloody lips, blood dripping down their nose, blood on their face, blood on their clothes.
And they're like, yeah, I had the best time of my life. And it's like, you got multiple contusions, dude. You know? Yeah, and it also, man, I caught an elbow. Woo!
And by the way, we're supposed to think Sodom and Gomorrah was fiction. It was fiction. People aren't like that, right? I mean, seriously, man, the mosh pit is like, I mean, people just want that chaos, right?
Right. Can't say no to good mosh pit. I used to love mosh pits. And Cannibal Corpse has a rough mosh. Oh, yeah, you think somebody named Cannibal Corpse would have like a nice soft mosh pit with like with pillows, fluffy pillows everywhere, you know? But funny thing about it though is if you see a mosh pit and it looks like it's got lesbians in it, get the hell out of that mosh pit. Trust me.
Why are they psycho?
They are vicious, man. They are vicious.
Like Butch Dyke? Is that what you're talking about?
Butch Dyke's lesbians, man. You do not want them in your mosh pit.
Wow. I mean, I guess maybe when I was 20, I would do that. But
well, Odin Dasko, mosh pits are positive release of negative energy. South Slayer more than any other band. We destroy each other, but we're all brothers in the end. Yeah. It's like, hey man, you nailed me in the forehead with a forearm shiver. Yeah. You gave me that bruise right there. That's you. Yeah, man. But see, that's CG. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're like giving each other bruises. But at the end of the day, you know, this is way better than anything that they're doing over there in that big stadium over there, listening to the latest Pop-Tart writhe on stage and sing canned music in the key of G. You know,
right.
That's been like completely, totally slave to a beat. You know, well, over here we got a guy that thinks playing the guitar is like an option. You know, and the music's horrible and the singer's like screeching. But you know what? We're all like giving each other bruises and stuff. But it's like at the end of the night we walk away and we've had way more fun, and I'll feel way more better about it,
I'll say this, okay. At least in the mosh pit scenario, you're not getting homogenized bullshit.
Oh, no, you're getting a real experience. You're getting a real experience,
I mean, you can't, so like, a lot of these guys get older and they become big pop stars, right? And they
right.
Like a Green Day type thing, right? Where now they're just totally owned, and you're like, I'm not saying one's better than the other, but at least
Cole man, man. Welcome in. Yeah, totally. And it's like, hold on one second. I got a good bloody nose in a napalm death pit.
What is a napalm death pit?
I don't know what that is.
Napalm death is a group. It's a group. 60% of the time I'm right all the time. The far is. All right, I got a combat boot to the head during Sick of It All.
Really?
Okay. Had the same thing happen to me at Napalm. Got a broken nose that bled like crazy.
I was at a show once and I was just watching, right? And then all of a sudden I got hit in the back of the head and I didn't know what was going on because I was facing forward. And I turned around and I just hit the person in the face, whoever it was. I just turned around and instinctively just punched whoever's in front of me. And I guess it was a guy who was stage diving or whatever, was being held up by the crowd, and he happened to fall on the back of my head. It wasn't actually hitting me. But to me, I thought someone, hit me in the back of the head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. It was weird. Then people started taking my side. Then it was really strange, man. Like, people are all ready to fight, man, over nothing,
Let's see. Saw Sick of It All open for Slayer. Gotcha.
When I was in high school, this is just like Belmont's story. I was a twerpy little kid, like 125 pounds.
Yeah. And
there was a big crowd of people in the hallway, and somebody shoved me, and I turned around and shoved them back. And it wasn't the person I shoved wasn't the person that shoved me in the end.
Right.
And this guy turned out to be Johnny Karate of 3 Cities. Right. This guy was like the Bruce Lee of he was like 64. He took one look at me and he said, what do you think you're doing?
pat, 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 pat.
He kicked me.
Go away.
He did a kick where he went right here, right here, and I was like, fuck, and this guy like had instant mercy on me because he knew that was just a twerp,
Right. Yeah. Okay. Saul sick of it all with Sacred Reich, Sepultura, and Napalm Death at Bogarts and Cincy. We're bloody nose bros. Well, the thing about CG though, and I think it's a misunderstanding that a lot of people have. When you got a movement that is like brand new, and it's like I was watching a documentary on the early days of grunge, right? Because nobody went to Seattle. Nobody even looked at Seattle. I mean, the hair metal bands, they like stayed pretty much to the big glitz and glamour cities. And hair metal was like huge at the time. It was like rolling the radio, rolling MTV. You couldn't throw a dead cat without hearing every rose has its thorns, and these guys, they were just like, F everything, we're going to wear flannel because it's raining all the time. We're going to sing about really gloomy stuff, about heroin addiction and how everything sucks. And then we're going to like stage dive and have a good time. And and they honed their skills. And so they're like better musicians because they're all playing against each other. And it was like this meritocracy, this pure meritocracy. And you have Alice in Chains playing against Mad Season,
right.
And these guys just got better and better and better. And then Nirvana came out of that. And then they had their own label, the Sub Pop. And then suddenly somebody heard Nirvana, and that's like, hey, let's put these guys on MTV. And it was like raw. It was like unfiltered. It was these guys like beating on each other and in the mosh pit and everything like that. And instead, you got Mr. Hairspray over here, with this tight spandex and all these chicks going, I love you so much, And then you got these people over here and they're like serious and oh yeah, and screaming like their soul's going to come out of their nose. And it was just like raw. It was real, people were just begging for real.
And then it ends with
and then it like bloated up, and then
but Dave Grohl today
got
wants
overexposed.
vaccinations to get into his concerts, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, totally, everything fucking sells out.
Right. But early on though, I mean, they were scary. I mean, they were scary up there because nobody cared. Gotta run, have a good stream. Thank you, good stuff. But it was scary and it was new. It was raw. It was unfiltered, and it was just like. I remember first time I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit," I was like walking by a radio playing it, and it was like a punch to the side of the head,
right?
Because you're hearing like guitar solos and oh, I love you so much and blah blah blah, and like everything's polished to and perfectly packaged for radio, and then you hear this guy just like screaming his lungs out. Here we are now, entertain us. It's like, whoa, what the hell is that? And it's just like, it was like the skip on the radio, on the record player. And every once in a while you have these moments where that happens, and CG is that moment, the thing about it is though, is this is usually the life cycle. Okay, a movement happens because people feel like they're left out of the mainstream. Okay, they all get together, and it's pure meritocracy at first. So everybody like shows what they got, and then it's like this insular little society where everybody's like knows each other, and so they know, oh, that guy's good. I got to be as good as that guy if I'm going to have a place. And so they hone it, and it becomes better than anything the mainstream's got, right? And then suddenly somebody breaks out into the mainstream, and people know, oh, this happening, right? And then suddenly the corporations go, and then And then suddenly everything's like packaged and everything's artificially authentic,
Right.
you know. And people are like, this isn't the real thing anymore, you know. And I think what we're doing right now is I think we're past the part where we're alienated. We found each other. I think now we're into the honing part, right?
Probably.
And eventually, and I think some of these big numbers we're seeing, I think we're starting to see these corporations are going to start coming sniffing around, you know.
It could be.
Because they see like 4 books have got over 6 figures in the last 2 months, you know, and that's something going on.
Yes.
And with Marvel, the MCU, Marvel, and DC like winding down, you know, the money is going to start like looking for a place to go, and it would not surprise me if I saw some these bigger creators in our group suddenly like get offered deals with like unlimited funds and like main comic book producers.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard that over the years that we've talked about maybe that Ethan has had offers to do certain things. And eventually, you're right, that's going to eventually end up coming to CG and looking for IPs to make money on.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's almost impossible to like, if they throw enough money at you, what are you going to say, right?
Well, the thing about it is what happens is to entice people in, they give them like creative control of everything. They just want it so bad that they'll basically give them that creative control, and it's like, well, you're going to pay me money to do what I would be doing anyway, but just put your number on it. You know, I mean, that's a deal, right? That's what happened. That's what happened with Images. They were like, hey, creative freedom. You know, you can do what you do anyway, but we'll pay you to do it, and we'll leave you the hell alone, and we'll do all the distribution and all that shit. You don't have to worry about it anymore. That's and I mean, you know, that could be in the Alps, you know, especially some of these guys like you know, Aaron Lopresti's got a sick wife and he fulfilled you know, Wraith of God, and he's in his 60s, you know.
She's sick? She has cancer or something?
Yeah, she's a treatment right now. Shelly is. And and I mean, what a man that is, you know, taking care of her, fulfilling Wraith of God, launching Wraith 2, going over 6 figures. I mean, Aaron Lopresti is a beast. And I mean, I admire the hell out of that man. But for all I mean, that's worker right there.
Yeah, I've met him before. He's a very nice guy too.
He's a sweetheart, man. Everybody loves. It's funny. He always tells stories about the conventions where everybody thinks he's another Aaron. You know, it's talking about the professionals. He's like telling all these stories where people are like, "Oh, I thought you were Aaron such and such." He's like, "No, I'm Aaron Lopresti."
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, really? Have you been on any books?
Right.
I've been on a few books, yes.
You know, it's a strange thing because people like Aaron Lopresti, you look at his work, and I've seen it over the years. I've seen it.
Yeah. Very,
very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, then they get a David Finch, who's they push him up as a name to sell, right? But then you look at Aaron's stuff, you're like, that's really good too, but they're not selling him that way. And I don't maybe
him being a openly devout Christian probably has something to do with that, maybe just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. My theory, you know, it's possible.
It's
entirely possible. But the thing, you know, I mean, you look at his work, it stacks up against anybody. Okay.
Right.
And that first book had some flaws narratively, but I could see where he was headed, and I could see him getting stronger as I went in the book. And I guarantee that Wraith of God 2 is probably going to be awesome in about every conceivable way.
I want to show you something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some.
No problem. No problem. Anyway, so I was going to show this right quick. So we showed at least one campaign today. Hold on. Hello, Sean Davis. What's up, dude? What's up, Dave and Sean? What's up, guys? You're always welcome on my show. Let me see right quick. It's going to show. Let me figure out where I went with that. All right. Gotta go invite. Gotta go. Not invite, but present. Let's see. Share screen. And get Brave tab. And this one. Okay. This is my friend. He launched on his own website and fundmycomic.com, and immediately the people who were supposed to be handling his just realized he's posting his bunny. Yeah, anyway, but immediately his website, as quickly as it went up, his payment processing took a dump because the coding on the other end wasn't up to snuff. And then they've offered to like fix it for him. Hold on one second. Let me bring up Chatterpunt.
So this is Aaron Lopresti's Dark Beast. I saw it's in a Marvel universe. And I remember looking at that going, that is the coolest freaking Dark Beast I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, that is awesome. And I'm like, that is like Silvestri, David Finch level.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this guy's a top talent. And I don't, why. I know we've already moved past the subject, but
right.
I'm like, this guy's amazing.
I've always liked his work since he Sludge Malibu Comics. That's when I first seen his work.
Okay.
Well, his work has a structured fluidity. I don't know. That makes no sense, but that's all I can describe it. Because it looks flexible, but it's very structured and very solid. It does. He's got a lot of. Him and Finch have a lot of similarities, but. He's every bit as good as Finch.
I believe it.
My opinion. He's got some cool stuff coming up. So keep an eye on that. Empire Comics, I think, is the name of his brand. But I mean, eventually we're probably going to see people like Aaron Lopresti get handed sweetheart deals. This is Killing Fields, a complete saga. Yeah, Aaron Lopresti is a powerful. Yep, hold on. Powerful, amazing artist. Yeah, he is.
It really is.
All right, hold on. Add to stream. Take. What's up, Tank?
What's up, party people? How you doing?
We're going. Yeah, we're about to show some campaigns. I'm gonna show this hybrids right quick.
Ooh, look at that. That's sexy.
Yeah, that is Rascal. Rascal is an asshole. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let me play the trailer for you guys. Hold on one second. Let me bring that up. And here we go.
We know our enemy. We've seen behind the curtain. And they have a weakness. An Achilles heel.
They are arrogant and completely underestimate what they are up against. They forget who the game master is. They forget how wise this old demon can be. So, let's see who among them survives this killing field.
All right. That's pretty cool stuff right there, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is live right now. He's already over his funding goal of 500 because he's already got it completed. He's just wanted to get money to put it out.
Oh, wow.
But this is like we saw that earlier. This is a cover, the Rascal cover. And this is let's see, this is like images from it. But hold on. The thing about it is some people, main characters, are probably going to die in this thing. He's already been hinting at it. Major main characters, if you love the series like I do, you're pretty much cussing them these days. This is a real cool cover right here. That one's going to be really awesome. But this is the black cover. The black cover is the one. He has like his bas relief where it's like matte finish, but then it has like he's like I've got all of them so far. I'm gonna have to get this one, I guess, to complete my set. And this is like all four with alternative covers. This is the main Trash Day arc, the previous arc, if you want to get caught up. As a metal print. These are metal prints here. This is a statue of Trash Man. 3D rendered. We got some original art from Nitho Diaz, who's currently working for Marvel. This is original art pieces. I think a 300 a piece. Anyway, shipped in Gemini mailers, and this will be his 9th campaign he's fulfilled, so he does know how to do that. This right here, he has a drawn in tier. Let me find it. But his final arc, the next one's coming in. That 150 USD, and unlike a lot of people who just draw you into a panel or some random panel and don't include you in the story, he will help you develop your villain and draw it and actually put it in his comic as a character.
Cool.
And so when he says drawn in, he means drawn in. So you create your own character and you are in the book.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, not many people do that. In fact, he's the only one I've ever heard that did that.
How can he do that if he's already done with the book?
Well, he's not done with the next arc.
Oh, okay.
This is for the next arc. But yeah, and you were legitimately in the book. Hold on 1 second. Let me. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like I created him a villain, and he's already put it in a book. And it's the Ice Cream Man. So pay attention. He's really cool. He's really cool.
Like the Van Halen song?
Well, no, not really. It's a hiccup for Luke, but lessons learned will be invaluable. It's still the wave of the future. Yeah, I agree. Sagacious Scallywag, Tank Ferret. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that funmycomic.com is he's got the guy who he came on the show the other night. It's basically Wednesday morning. They were late in the morning. But his name is Ray Havelock. He's from Australia, and he does a lot of the tech for Tug's website. And he knows a guy who's going to build a website for Luke, so he doesn't have to worry about the coding on what's coming. Because that's where the failure was not on Luke's end. The failure was on the end of the people who he had handling his bank transactions and things like that. They basically upsold him after the failure, and basically told him, "Oh, we'll fix it for $100 an hour, for 6 hours work. So $600 will
hell
fix it
no.
for you." Yeah, and Luke's like, "That's not how this works, you know."
Yeah,
So-
no, you complete the task that was given to you.
Yeah. And basically they told him, well, if you had the $300 a month, package, then we wouldn't be charging you this much, you know. It's just nasty, you know. It's a Canadian company, so there you go. Anyway, can't trust those Canucks. You just can't trust them. I'm kidding. I have a lot of Canadian.
Trudeau, that's what it is.
I have a lot of Canadian friends. I'm just taking a shot. But yeah. So GoFundMe. Fund My Comic is coming, and it's going to be solid once he launches it. But he wants to get this book out because it's the last of the arc. It's already completed. There's a lot of people just been waiting for this for months and months, and yeah, me. I want to find out who my favorite characters he's going to kill, the bastard. But anyway,
Well, you know that the hybrids book is one of the books that I bought that really got the kids into reading, and like that, the Starlight Cats, Johnny Phantasm, those are their 3 favorite books.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
And so especially my oldest son, he loves hybrids.
What's up, Pojo?
Because I got the 2-pack on that one. I got the foil that I kept for myself.
Yeah.
And I gave him the regular one. I gave my son the regular one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Both of them superb quality books, by the way. Superb quality trade paperbacks, good binding.
Yeah.
Like everything was like top notch. I was very, very impressed.
The first I've got the remastered, but the first the trade paperback of Trash Day is still one of the best books I've ever gotten out of indie comics. I mean, it looks professional.
Wow.
I mean, it really looks professional. As long as he doesn't mess with Danny, I'll stay with the series. He cannot mess with Danny though. I gotta have Danny in my life. So
yeah, the only Danny he's allowed to mess with is the one that's a coward that doesn't back books.
There you
that
go.
Danny can be messed with.
Yeah. F that Danny. Okay.
F that Danny.
Yeah. If you don't know who Danny is, get hybrids. You'll find out. He's a badass. He's just a badass.
I thought you're talking about that puppet.
No,
that's the other Danny.
That's the other Danny. I'm talking about the guy in the wheelchair in the hybrids universe. He is so cool. He's awesome. Anyway, based on a real guy. That's what's interesting. He's based on a real guy. He knows this guy who's a veteran that was like I think he was injured by an IED. He's got the patch. He's in the wheelchair, and he's just a unmitigated badass. And it looks like, I'm gonna put you in the comic. And he's like, oh really? It's like, oh okay. And so he put him in the comic. It's same name and everything. So and he says he's just as badass in the comic as he is in real life. I want to meet this guy someday. You know.
Heck yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. What's up? Anyway. So I just want to show at least that campaign today. So if you haven't backed hybrids yet, that's the whole Killing Fields arc, and the Trash Man arc is the arc right before that one. You can get that. And it's every one in the Trash Man arc, and now you can get everything in the Killing Fields arc, and so you get 2 complete story arcs are available on that campaign right now. Cool. You can get completely caught up on the series, and it's a hell of a series. It legitimately is the best series in CG. Really? I tell everybody that And I think Company Man. I have to see 2 books out of Company Man, but Company Man's kind of like moving up on the outside for me. I'm sorry if you haven't got Company Man, you missed out. Company Man's what Graveyard Shift and Jawbreakers think they are.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Company Man was my most underrated book of 2021 by far.
Yeah.
That's a killer book. So good.
Yeah, I mean, when you got your, I never even thought of this, but if you've got a speedster on your team, he is always going to arrive before the backup, and then you're like, and then what's he going to do? He's here and nobody else is here, and they,
Right.
And, his guy Ramjet like outruns his backup, and it's hilarious because here he is. He's like, oh shit! They're like, who's there? He's like, everybody's here. But he held his own. He held his own very well. But yeah, he's got the Company Man is about ready to launch, I believe. But he needs to have. I really hope that he has a catch-up tier because that book is awesome. Concur on Company Man. Yeah.
Hail Hojo.
But there's a lot of books. One of the reasons why I was inspired to do Buy One Back One is because there are so many books that deserve more eyes. I mean, Stump from Nathan Rosario should be every bit as big as anybody.
What's that
book
called?
is
Stump?
incredible. Stump.
Huh.
Yes. He's the best protagonist in singular protagonist in I think all of CG. Yeah, I love Stump because he's just that Midwest kind of like crack your knuckles, get to work, kind of, and if he sees like a big dragon monster drops in front of him, he's like, okay, let's see what happens if I punch it. And then he punches it.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. That's his like solution to everything. Punch it. If it's still standing, then we'll figure something out. I love it. Hold on a second. Enjoyed working. Enjoyed watching Young Metals. Yeah, that's a good show. Even metal today. Going with Death Metal Hero in 2 hours. It's the Metal Day. It's Hojo's Metal Day. If you haven't signed up to Hojo's Mythicals, make sure you do that because that book's going to be really good.
It looks really good.
It's definitely going to be really good. I saw that. Yep, keep it metal. Dentist appointment after hanging with the high strain. So pot smoking and then the dental appointment. Yay. That sounds like fun. But thing about it is, though, is if you haven't signed up for Mythicals, make sure you do because I've read the script about 3 books deep, and all 3 of them were just as good as the previous, and so that series is going to be awesome. Plus Samuel, you don't know the name yet, but you will. So Samuel's my man. He's my man.
Yeah, there's some good sleeper hits out there, man. That. For real.
Well, I mean, the people that just focus on these big guys are the ex-pros. They are missing a whole strata of just awesome. Okay. Like that Prospectors book. That is awesomeness. That should be over 6 figures. I mean, that is awesomeness. The Tiger Blue series. I mean, I mean, Fowler's putting out some stuff. He's putting out some stuff, man. And he's a
that might be
writer.
The problem, though. He's putting out too much stuff all at once. He should spread it out a little bit more, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility. But,
everybody's wallet is only so big. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good projects right now. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got Soul Check, Bale War. I mean, these are awesome books. They really.
We got to get them funded so we can get them into retail pricing.
Yeah, exactly.
These projects need to get funded, and then hopefully people roll some of that profit over into a first print that's retail. It's cheap. Heck, make it Alterna quality. That's great. It's fine. Right. It's perfectly readable.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Scalpel Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to work
And
on that one today. It took me,
Shadow
dude. I
Punk.
don't know. I got sick this last week.
Yeah, right.
I got sick for I was sick for 2 weeks in a row. I caught 3 different diseases.
Well, that's what happens when you got little petri dishes living at your house.
Oh my goodness! It was yeah, okay, cool. Everybody's well. The kids are gonna go play with their friends. Now everybody's sick again. It's just oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're gonna play with their friends.
Licking trees.
Little plague rats. I swear.
Yeah, stop licking the trees, damn it.
Anyway, Shadow Punk right there. Awesome book. If you haven't seen it, let's check it out. It's a gorgeous book. Plus, he's got a 5-minute movie that he worked on very hard for 3 years. Check that out if you haven't. It's jaw-dropping that this guy right here worked on something for 3 years, and it looks professional.
Why aren't you working for DreamWorks is what I want to know.
Well, he's got a soul. Well, he's got a soul. He hasn't sold it yet.
when I was working on the movie, that was the point to get a job doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But then the thing they call the pandemic hit, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere like that.
Pandemic, so you can see why he thinks about that. Anyway,
yeah, well, those companies are going to have policies, and I'm like, fuck that.
Right,
so everything changed, and my priority shifted to a comic book, which is really cool. And it's turned into, you guys know, it's turned into not a magnum opus, but it is your thing, right? Yeah. It's really cool to have a whole project that you're throwing everything into, and you guys already know that.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is my first time.
Right, and it's your life. I mean, this thing becomes your life. It becomes part of you. It's like to lose it would be like cutting off a finger or a hand. It becomes a part of you.
There's also the other thing. One more thing is the fact that you're not working for other people anymore.
No.
Right, and so that you're like, this is actually cool. If you can make it work, it's kind of cool. So.
Well, it's like somebody said this morning. If would you still? He did this. Showed this picture of a guy who's like, "Hey, here's my original character that I spent hours and hours on," and then he had all these people who are saying memes, and everybody obsessed with the goofy stuff on the internet, and he rips it up and walks away, and I was like, "Well, that you didn't do that for you, did you? I mean, you didn't do it for the art, You did that for people's applause and people's interest, and let's face it, that's not really art. Art should be done for the sake of the art, otherwise, there has to be some commerciality if you want to keep doing it,
I think there's a thing though. I think that when you get to a certain age, some people go, "This is it." Right? When you're 20, you're not thinking in those ways. No, right? And you're not, and consequently, you're not pouring your 100% into something. You might do 85, 80, but
or if you're like Tank Farrett and just start inadvertently just acquiring kids, I mean, yeah.
That's a good motivator right there. That's a great motivator.
Right. I might pop in there in the chat if I have time. Oh, okay. All right. Belmont though, Mr. Belmont here. He's relaunching his campaign with some Virgin covers and some other cool stuff. So if you haven't checked it, Smokes the Fox Weaponized Werewolf out lately, make sure you do so. This cool name brand artists that of covers he's got. Now you can get them without the lettering and the collector's items. There you go.
I'm only going to make 125 or less of each cover,
and they'll get them to sign them for you. I believe that's a part of it.
Yeah, right? I'm going to be talking to Mike Barron this weekend because we're going to be doing a show together. Yeah, and about book 2.
There you go. There you go. He's just trying to fundraise for that book too, guys.
And trying to get by, man.
Yeah, and we need that book too because he left us on a freaking cliffhanger twice.
I instructed Mike Barron to do that.
Asshole.
Oh, I'm sure.
Jerkwad. I mean, come on now. Anyway, But yeah, so that's pretty much been the show today. Anybody else got anything they want to push or draw attention to?
Well, I'm just really psyched about my 6 a.m. cartoon that I got him to do of Shadowpunk.
That is cool. That
go
is
to my
cool.
Twitter and check it out.
Yeah, it's on his Twitter. It's on his Twitter. Yeah,
It's neato. It's neato.
it is. I remember I got my 6 a.m. I was like showing it to everybody.
Yeah,
check this out. Check it out. Check it out. It's something really special about it. It's like I've arrived at CG. You know, it was 6 a.m. You got 6 a.m. too, don't you, Tank? I believe. Oh, you muted, dude.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys using a leaf blower out here. No, I don't have 6 a.m. yet, but yeah, no, I'll get enough money to get that taken care of. You know,
yeah,
that'll be in due time. In due time, I'll be keeping 6 a.m. plenty busy.
Right.
Plenty of stickers and characters to be done up. So,
well, that boat that Ironsides is like going across the Delaware, and I'm planning on seeing if 6 a.m. will put people in it.
There you go.
Get my whole crew in there. There we go. There you go. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for the day. Thank you for showing up, chat. Thank you for showing up, panel members. You know, I know this is kind of like last minute because I wasn't supposed to be streaming till next week, but I just missed it too much. I had to get back to it. So
I guess you could change the subject of the show because it wasn't really a buy one back one.
Well,
a little bit.
A little
yeah,
bit.
I did push
touch.
I did push some campaigns. All right, I'll change the thumbnail and say
I don't know. We did go off topic for about an hour.
Yeah, but was it really off topic? I mean,
it's all connected.
It's all connected. Oh well. All right. So Belmont's dubious. He's dubious. That's no big deal. Anyway, Hojo is going to be on Death Metal Hero tonight after being on Metal something Brewskis earlier today. Anyway, so it's his Metal Day, so make sure you're checking him out on Death Metal Hero tonight. I guess it's in about an hour or two. But yeah. Anyway,
we got Odin tonight on the high stream.
Oh yeah, Odin Dasco's gonna be on the high stream.
8:30.
Who else is on there? Just Odin.
Fusebox.
Ah, right. Ben Fusilier in Outlaw Nights. It is also buy one back one. So check that out. Check out that campaign.
Yeah, he just launched.
Yeah, he just launched it in the middle of the night with
the middle of the night.
Yeah, I was there.
No build up whatsoever. Just like, oh, I'm launching the comic. It's like, and then it's like, why didn't anybody back my comic? It's like, Ben, there's a little bit something called build up. You know, it's like, I don't know. He's got like ADHD really bad. So like the rest of us, pretty much, we're all on the freaking spectrum around here. The spectrum of colors, whatever. All right. Squirrel. Anyway, all right. Okay. All right. That's been the Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics here with Tank Ferret, Belmont, and Shadow Punk, and the fluffiest chat, and all of CG, and all of YouTube. So that's all we got for the day. Y'all have a good afternoon. Bye, everybody.
Tell me what's on your mind.